I'm going to read a book to you. And this book I wrote. It's called Think For Yourself. And it's not a book for everybody. It's really just a book for me. I wrote it because it just came out of my brain. And it might not make sense to a lot of people or whatever. But I like it, so I'm going to read it. I ask myself how. How is it that things are all the same? How can I use this sameness as a key to learning everything? Language. A lot of words are the same in other languages, but that is not the key. It's not the sameness. It is finding the alike in things that seem so totally different. How can I find that? What is that then? How does it work? I cannot see it, but I know it's there. I can sense it. It's all in the way the animals grow and the trees grow, duplicating cells. It's the way my muscles grow. I lift heavy things. How does lifting heavy things over and over make muscles grow? Why does my body look different than it did a year ago, 2 years ago? So I've got to figure this out before I can teach it to you. Not necessarily how my muscles grow, but that secret that unlocks the way of gaining knowledge. Or I don't even know if it's even called knowledge. What I'm looking for is a way to get from here to there without having to travel, without having to move dot to dot. Is there a way to form a picture on a page without drawing it, just making it appear there? There's photography. Photography can take a scene from the world and place it on a paper or digital form or whatever in an instant. How does that work? Sure, you can describe the mechanism of it, but how can I take that information or the way that is done and apply it to everything? Apply it to math. How can I make that problem solved? Apply it to language. How can I speak another language? Apply it to work. How can I be the best at what I do, or at least good at what I do instantly? I hear the term instant gratification. People don't want to wait. They want it instantly and can't wait for it. Why do people want this? It's not a bad thing. You want it because it's accessible. It is really there. There is a way. Your body craves food because it's a way for it to grow. Your body craves water because you need it to live. So is instant gratification. Your body knows that it can be done, and it's just letting you know so you can figure it out. So I can figure it out, and I say I want to learn all this stuff, and I don't really care about instant gratification, but at the same time, I have to say I enjoy getting things right away. If I could take some kind of knowledge, take for example, if I could read a book and then know the book. And reading a book is not just staring at the book. You actually have to think and read the pages. And I don't know if everybody is like this, but I can't take, say, an English book and read it once, all the pages, all the chapters, all the information about diagramming sentences and pronouns and adjectives, and then know it. I have to read and study over and over. That would be awesome if I could read an English book and then know everything in it, easy access to whenever I needed it, so I could write perfect sentences, complete sentences, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about instant gratification, I'm just talking about being able to learn. I feel like my learning mind is like a rock, and that water is the lessons, and it has to drip, 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 drip over and over and over for centuries in order to make an impression and to get that knowledge. So as I know it, so at work when I don't know how to find something on the computer, if I do it over and over and over, eventually I'll learn it and I'll know it. But people don't want to tell me over and over how to do it. They just want to tell me once and expect me to be able to do it without asking again and again. If I wrote every step down and went back over it a few times, or 10 or 20 times, then maybe I'd know it. And they don't say, go get something to write with and I'll tell you the steps. No, they just say, do this, 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 and this, and expect me to know it. They don't do that. There's usually something else going on and nobody has time. I guess that's what a recorder comes in handy, but then you would have to have it on record all the time and hope you catch some useful information that you can have to sift through to find, which you rarely ever do. It's just so much work. It's easier just to ask again. So it's kind of frustrating for me, and it makes me not want to do it. It makes me want an easier job, but I want to know the stuff. I feel like I'm smart enough to do a good job, and I feel like I could really move up in the company, but if it's all just memorization of a bunch of keystrokes, then it's not really worth it. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. My search is for something different. Something that somebody already has inside of them, not something that is put inside to learn, but something deep inside that's put into the light, the ancient wisdom we're all born with. The things I think about are the same things that philosophers for hundreds of years talk about. I haven't read these works by philosophers such as David Hume and Immanuel Kant, but what they say is the same things I say, but I didn't study their work before I wrote mine. I didn't study their work before I started thinking. This is why people can learn things. It's because it's already inside of them. They can relate to. People can read the works of Immanuel Kant and David Hume and say, yes, that's what I think too. Yes, that's what I think too. They don't say, that's a new way of thinking. Some may, but it's really just in other words. They have the base structure already inside them, and they may use the knowledge and wisdom of others to build on that structure, to add to the skin, to add the meat, but the bones are already there. The concrete is poured, the steel is erected, and that is what we are given. That is what makes us human, to fill it in, to add the wood, the walls, the gypsum, or the windows. It is to make a person, an individual, and what makes their thinking different from their neighbor's thinking. But the steel structure is the same, and the steel structure is what makes us human. So I want to take the steel structure and not only build a castle, but I want to figure out how to make that steel malleable and form it into something I find more pleasing. And maybe it won't be architecturally sound, and maybe it'll fall, but if I could bend it and stretch it and shape it into a spiral or a spear or the Great Pyramids, I could use it as a guide and form it into supports on a bridge that I can use to cross over into unknown territory, see what's on the other side, see what's behind that curtain, pull that veil off my eyes to enter into the unknown and make it known, to bring light into darkness, illuminate the path in front of me so I could find the way to another place where time and space do not exist, where life and death are one and the same, where humans are no longer human but gods, where enlightenment grows and thunder shakes and rolls throughout, and love is red and happiness is orange and the sun is bright and warm, where we are one and our understanding is timeless and immortal, and our wishes are no longer wishes but thoughts, and reality are one, and we are human and we are energy, and that bridge becomes us, and it becomes a tunnel to our soul. It becomes our esophagus. It becomes the CERN particle accelerator. It becomes our arms and our fingertips. It becomes what we see out of our eyes. It becomes our breath. It becomes our life. It becomes who we are or who we can be if we decide to be so, to be so. So we sit and we think and we breathe and we live and we absorb our surroundings, and knowledge and wisdom flows into us as we inhale, as we open our eyes and we close our eyes, through our ears and nostrils, through every pore in our skin. Knowledge, wisdom. It's as we're a sponge, and this air, these particles that surround us, that is pressing up against us, that is filling the room. We absorb this constantly wherever we go. If you were a sponge, would you like to be thrown in a toilet? I don't think so. Put yourself where you want to be. You have control of this. You can be where you want to be. Perhaps you haven't found it yet, but it's easy. You just go where your light leads you and absorb everything that life has to offer. There is a giant world out there, and everyone has their place. Believe it or not, like it or not, we are all a piece of that puzzle. So, the sky is gray. Maybe it's blue to some people. I'm sure it's a beautiful day, but when you have a feeling, maybe it is that you want people to like you, but people do, but you can't feel it. There's some kind of block there. I don't know. I can't tell. I want to be happy, and I don't know why I'm not. I have a beautiful house, a beautiful car, a husband who loves me very much. I feel like I'm not good enough. Maybe I set too high of standards for myself, and then I say, well, Betty, you're only human, and you have feelings. They're not bad. It is just how you feel right now. But it's weird because somebody read my book and they say they liked it. And it made me like this person because they're reading my book. And when they tell me how they like it and the parts of it they enjoyed, it makes me feel good. And when my husband told me he read my book and liked it, it made me feel good because I felt like it wasn't that good. But when he told me he liked it, it made me feel good. And that's what matters the most. But then when a complete stranger likes it, it's a different feeling. It's neat. But then I feel like they say the same thing and I act the same way, and I feel like I'm just wanting them to say it because it makes me feel good. And I want that good feeling, but then I feel like a beckoned dog. You gotta say something nice about me? Huh? And it's silly, and it makes me feel like they're going to catch on, that they're not going to like me anymore because I'm weird or something. Think that I need attention. I need someone to tell me how great I am, and it's all just silly. But then when I'm at home and I don't feel good and I work out for myself, but then I guess what it is that I do compare myself to others, and I shouldn't. Maybe that's what makes me depressed, because I'll never be as beautiful as that person, or my stomach won't be flat, or my hair won't grow, and I shouldn't think about these things. I should think about all the things I have done. But it's not good enough to my standards. Oh, you wrote a book? How many people you know wrote a book and published it? I know one or two people, but their books were good. See, that's where it goes, to comparison. Because of those standards I hold myself, it's just something I always telling myself, that I'm not good enough. And why do I do this to myself? Why do I tell myself I'm not good enough? And I don't think it's just me. I think a lot of people do this. I think it's a trait to humans. And I think so many of us feel like we're not good enough. And it's that secret. And is that the secret to power and success? To believe in yourself? People say it all the time. You see it written everywhere. These people who are multimillionaires or running the country or being a professional whatever, making millions of dollars, they say believe in yourself, or they don't even say it. They just do it. And it may be that that's what separates them from me. They know what they are doing. They're confident in themselves. Regardless of if they're not the smartest person or the best looking person or not strong enough or not brilliant enough or all the excuses that I make, are they still sitting at home thinking, I wish I could be better? Do they even think about it? From my point of view, they don't even think about it. They just go home, eat their dinner, and expect everything to go the way it's been going because they're confident in everything they do. Maybe that's a ticket. Maybe that's the magic. So I guess this is what I need to do, and maybe I've said this before, maybe I've said this in my other book. Be confident. Do those words sound familiar? So how do I do that? How do I stop comparing myself to others? How do I stop thinking I'm not as good or as beautiful as someone else? How do I stop being like that? How do I stop thinking about things that don't even matter? It doesn't matter if I'm stronger or weaker than somebody else, because they are who they are and I am who I am, and I do my best, and I don't know what they do because that's none of my business. I shouldn't. I should take each day, moment by moment. I should say, I feel confident in myself because I did my best. Every second, every minute, every hour, I continued trudging down that path with all the obstacles, and I just kept going. I didn't sit at home because I didn't feel like going to the gym. I didn't eat candy because I was hungry and craving something sweet. I said, no, that does not fit my macros, and I'm not going to eat that. And I keep on going, and I keep on going, and I think it's what causes depression, to deny yourself the things. Is that what causes depression, to deny yourself the things that you want? I don't think it does, because you want to look good. What is stronger? What is the more dominant desire? Is it to eat that candy, cake, ice cream, and pizza or whatever? Or is it to have that body in the best shape and the best health you can? When I look at my stomach and it's big and I don't like it and I do all this work and I still look like this and it's hard, it's me comparing myself to others and it's me not giving myself time. Maybe if I eat the way I'm supposed to, work out the way I'm supposed to, I've read all the scientific research saying this is how to do it and I follow that plan. After 3 or 5 years, if it still looked the same, then maybe then I can say, okay, this is what my body looks like. I have big, strong muscles, 5 years of working out. Shoot, I probably would look like a monster and still have a big stomach. Well, then I would have to accept it and say, that's me and this is not going to change. But I don't know that is what's going to happen. If you think about it, if you work hard doing exercise and cardio and eating right, then everything should. It's scientifically proven that our body is going to change. If you do these things, so you just have to keep going and pushing and trust the process. What else is scientifically proven? Is it that you do things in a certain way, in a particular way, you'll become rich? I don't know what I need to do to become rich. I'm from a town called Ocean Springs. The other day I had to go there for work, and after work I took a drive down the beach and saw these big, beautiful houses. How do you afford that? How do you get that big, beautiful house? How can you get a place like that? What do I need to do? I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I wish I had that magic solution so we all could be rich together and we all could have big mansions. I don't want a huge house because there would be spiders growing in it. There are certain things I want. It's a nice big bedroom, a nice kitchen, a big closet. It doesn't need 18 bedrooms and 20 bathrooms. Just 2 bathrooms and 2 or 3 bedrooms. I want it to be in a beautiful place. I want it to be strong so a hurricane won't knock it down. And I look at my house now. My house is fine. I love my house. My husband built this house, this beautiful interior, so it's nice. What I think that I want is the feeling of, I did this. I made this. And I think that's why I want that so-called big house. Because I want that satisfaction of knowing that something I did caused the cosmos to provide this luxurious home for me and my husband. Why? It goes back to that question I asked earlier. Why do I need that satisfaction? Do you know I said I wrote a book and got satisfaction of people liking my book, and then it gets all distorted, and if I built this big beautiful house and I stood on the beach and looked back toward my house and said, I did this. I built this big beautiful house. I earned enough money to build this big beautiful house. How long will that last? How long will that feeling of satisfaction last? And what do I have to do to maintain it? What do I have to continue to feel that way? Am I going to want more? Am I going to be satisfied? But is that the secret? Is that the secret to success? Am I looking for? To not be satisfied? And to always want more? Maybe it is. And maybe this unsatisfaction feeling I'm feeling, this depression or whatever you call it, it's not really depression. Maybe it's a good thing. Where I can stay hungry. I continue to work. I don't give up, and I don't say I can't make this happen. I don't say I'm not strong enough or I'm not smart enough. No, I say it's going to take time, and it's going to take energy, and it's going to take patience, and it's going to take willpower. It's going to take a lot of willpower, and I don't necessarily compare myself to others, but I need to compare myself to myself and say, I can do better. Betty, you can do better. This person who's existing in this spot at this time can and will do better than what? Do better than I have in the past. Well, when you first try to do something, you're not a professional no matter what well-meaning you have. Let's say, for instance, you're going to paint a picture and you say, oh, it's ugly, or well, it's okay, but if you concentrate, spend time, paint picture after picture, maybe if you don't understand why this isn't coming out right, you can do research and ask questions and utilize all the resources and take classes or do everything you can and put all of your energy into this. It might take years, but I bet you'll become an awesome painter. It's not all natural ability or natural talent. It's skills you develop over time. And that's a secret, I believe, is to develop these skills. When I lift weights, it's difficult to lift a certain amount of weight, but as I build my strength, that weight's not so hard to lift anymore. And in order for my muscles to grow, I must add weight to constantly grow. That is what it is. You need to add more weight to everything you do, and that is how you become stronger, and that is how you will become successful. So never give up. Keep that fight inside of you alive. So I'll stop there for today. I'll just steal this bookmark. And let me know if you like it, and I'll keep on reading. See you later.